Hey folks, welcome to Verified Investing. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. So the big headline today, I believe the markets have topped, not a gut, not a feeling. This is technical analysis. Markets have topped. The cycle high is in for the semiconductors. That's a huge statement. No one else out there making that statement, and I have the data to back it up. So let's jump right into the charts here. No delays, just pure charts, no BS. And here you have the S&P weekly chart. Now look at what we have here. I've shown this before, but again, if you're new, you're seeing this, but this is so important. When you have a parallel that goes back to 2020, the COVID lows, and tags right through the bear market lows of 2022 and subsequent lows right through here and the liberation sell-off lows, and the parallel to this line matched up to the bull market high of 2021 gives you the exact high here. This is how things work, guys. Look at the extension move on the S&P straight up. Look at the extension move here from COVID straight up. Very similar trajectories, slamming into the parallel, and look at the sell-off that we got. So in essence, we can assume that over the course of about a year, we should be headed back to about 5,300 on the S&P 500. We should trail down into this range down here. All right, that's number one. That tells us that there's likely a top in the stock market here. The next one is huge, folks. Here is your SMH. Semiconductors, as we know, make up the biggest part of the market. It's the AI trade. It's what's literally contributed to 75% of the upside in the S&P the last 2 years. That is what we have seen in the semis, right? That has carried the markets. It has been the bull market catalyst, if you will. If we take a look here, this is what I'm looking at. Put on your 200 moving average on your weekly chart. All right. Now notice how far away we got from the 200 here, from this 200 to the highest point here, and how far we got last week. Let's do a measurement, folks. And again, I've shown this before, and trust me, I'm going to go into other things, but this is insanely important. Okay. We go up here, 102%. Right from here, the furthest away we got from the 200 moving average. How far away? Look at this, 102%. How far away did we get last week from the 200 moving average? Let's get that as accurate as we can. Look at this, guys, 102%. So ultimately, think about it like this. Moving averages are home base. It pulls price back at a certain point when it gets too far away. It's its supply lines. You have to go refuel, right? It's the gas station of the market. And so as the car drives away further and further, it gets to a certain point and says, uh-oh, if I don't turn around now, I'm going to run out of gas. And so it pulls back to the 200 MA here. Same thing happened in 2021, 2024, and here we are, same extension move. This tells me, again, the semiconductors have likely topped. To reiterate that, look at the price action on Nvidia. Nvidia, doji high, big run up. Look at the pullback again today. The semis opened higher today and have collapsed. We saw this a few days ago. Look at even yesterday when the semis were up, Nvidia was down. This is telling you something. The biggest market cap, 5 trillion, now less than 5 trillion, but the biggest market cap in the semi space is getting trounced. Look at Broadcom here. This is huge on Broadcom. Take a look at this, guys. It's borderline a major breakdown. Broadcom's another $1 trillion+, almost $2 trillion semiconductor. It's right on the verge of a major breakdown. Look at the trend line going back to the April lows. This breaks, another nail in the coffin of the market. All right. So the semis are showing a lot of weakness. That's the crux of the market, what's been driving the market. Defensive names are now in vogue. I've been saying Pfizer is one of my favorite plays, 7% dividend yield. By the way, record holders as of tomorrow will get the dividend. It's a yearly 7% dividend yield. Incredible. But the point again is look at other favored stocks. Look at Robinhood, down 8% today. If Robinhood breaks this parallel, it is gone to the downside. You're going back to the gap fill at $101. That's after topping out at 154, right? About 3 to 4 weeks ago. Palantir ran up all-time highs into earnings. Boom, to the downside, down again today. And then look at the other mega caps. Look at Microsoft. Microsoft is cratering to the downside, coming into some technical support. This should go back to this high pivot from 2024. I have a target of 467 on Microsoft. We look at Meta. Look at the drop on Meta after the head and shoulders triggered, bounce, consolidation, bear flag, and look at the drop. Meta's headed down towards 570 to 575 right in here. That's going to be your big target. But again, folks, these stocks, the mega caps, the semis, they're all cracking here. Amazon's down almost $6 today. AMD, folks, AMD is another semiconductor. Look at the drop on AMD today. It is down 7%. So ultimately, the charts are telling me that probability is now 75 to 80% that the semis have topped for the cycle. All right. That means a significant pullback, 30, 40+ % pullback in the semis coming. And it also tells me the S&P has topped with a correction down to the low 5,000 range. Let's watch and see where this goes, guys. This is big stuff in the markets, in the charts. And again, you have all the negatives, right? Think about this. DoorDash, bad earnings. Why? Because it's consumer related. Chipotle, same thing. Fast casual, Generation Z and Y can't even afford fast casual anymore. All right. People coming out of college can't find jobs. The job market is stagnant. AI is the only thing, the capex from the AI, 90% of GDP right now is the AI trade. That basically means that GDP is zero for the rest of the economy. All right. We have a stagnant economy. All right. We have a government shutdown. We have other issues with tariffs and prices still going up. All right. You and me, they tell us inflation's 3%. Yeah. If you factor in some stuff out there that none of us really spend a lot of money on, sure. But what about food, energy, housing, all of these other things? Inflation is 5-6%, all eating away people's income and spending ability. And ultimately, guys, this is where we are. And I do expect a big correction is likely underway on the stock market short term, 5 to 10% from the highs. Then we'll probably get a bounce, but ultimately a move back down to 5,000, 5,300, somewhere in that vicinity on the S&P. Have a good one as always, folks. I try to bring the alpha here. Remember, share with friends and family if you find this interesting. I thank you so much for your time and tuning in. Take care.